Hi, how are you? Welcome to another episode of the Run Pass Option with Pro Football Hall of Famer Isaac Bruce and Doc Holliday. I am Doc Holliday, Pro Football Hall of Famer. How you doing, sir? How you doing?
Hey, I'm well and I'm blessed, doctor. And for two former professional football players, man. This is basketball season. We're gonna be talking a lot of basketball on this episode, man. So let's get at it.
We are, man, even though the NFL draft is coming up on tomorrow, but man, I don't do all that predicating predictive, man. I just wait till the draft comes and then we'll talk about it then. But you're right, bro. In the NBA playoffs are in full effect and a lot of great games. Specifically, my Memphis Grizzlies, man. Memphis Grizzlies taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves in game 5 at FedEx Forum, bro. And we pulled it out, 111 and 109. Hey, man, that little dude we got named Ja Morant, who just got most improved player, which I don't understand why the hell he was in that category to begin with, but just got most improved player award a couple of days ago. Bro, Isaac Bruce, my man hit a last-second layup, which was so athletic, bro. Did you see what he did, man? Did you see how we came back and won that game, even though we played like trash most of the damn game?
To be honest, I was specifically watching the Miami Heat series.
Of course you were.
It kind of came on before the Memphis Grizzlies game came on. So I could kind of stagger the two games. But I did see the ending of the Grizzlies, man. And Doc, I got to be honest, I was amazed. It's as if right before our very eyes, we see the maturation of two current superstars in the NBA association, man. So, I mean, that one being Anthony Edwards of the Minnesota Grizzlies. You got Big Cat there, but no disrespect to him. And one Ja Morant, man. I think, the drama that's created by these games, from one game to another, from city to city, from Minnesota to Minneapolis to Memphis, Tennessee, the drama in between the games, man, it's so heavy on these two teams. The pressure of it is so heavy. And I just love seeing these next level guys rise to the occasion, Doc. I mean, where you have guys that are literally taking over, new alpha dogs that are literally taking over their teams, taking them to the brink, closing. And when the game gets close, it's amazing how, and I'll use a word the great Charles Barkley used, the bus drivers rise to the occasion. So one Anthony Edwards and next Ja Morant, from the emphatic dunk that he had in that game to really closing it out with the game winner. A very athletic move to be able to maneuver around a defensive tree that's in your way to finish off a game under that kind of pressure, Doc. That's just amazing, man. It's true when they say that pressure makes diamonds and pressure also causes people to burst. So I believe the choice is Ja's at this moment, and I think he's becoming a diamond.
Man, a diamond is what you said, bro. And he put up a diamond performance in the fourth quarter, though. He finished with 30 points, 13 rebounds, 9 assists, almost had a triple-double again. But what he did in the fourth quarter, man, I can't really talk about what he didn't do in the first 3 quarters, because the first 3 quarters, he wasn't being aggressive. I didn't know what the hell was going on with him. I'm at the game. I'm like, man, what the hell is wrong with Ja, bro? He not attacking, he not being that aggressive, but the thing about it, Patrick Beverly has done a good job of kind of hounding him, man. And every time he tries to drive, they'll switch out on him, or they'll immediately clog that lane up where he can't get to it. So in that fourth quarter, bro, he just finally was like, you know what? Everybody that came to see me, man. Usher is in the building, sitting next to Ja's dad, because they say they look alike, and damn it, they do look alike. We had Zebo in there. We had my boy Head, man, Big 30, little rappers. Boosie was, I don't know why the hell Boosie be at Memphis Grizzlies games, but he there, man, with his chest all out. I want to go down there and say, bro, if you don't got dang button your damn shirt up, man, nobody will see that, man. Cat Williams, I heard, was there. Alex Rodriguez was there. I was there. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of stars in the building, man, and Ja put on a show, bro. Ike, it wasn't even that. It's just the fact that, like I said, he wasn't playing aggressive the first 3 quarters. Then that, dog, he scored 8. He scored, how many points he scored? 18 points in the fourth quarter, bro. He scored the Grizzlies' last 11 points. He had a 3-pointer so big with about a minute left to play, gave us our first lead. But then, hell, Anthony Edwards came back and hit a damn, tie the game up. He hit a big shot, too, a 3 to tie the game up with 3 seconds left. But then we get the Ja. I don't even know how to describe the damn layup, bro. It's like a slinky, twisty joint, man. You go up, you see somebody's body, and he has ability to just change his body and twist it in the air, man, and do things. I ain't never seen it, man. 30 points, 13 rebounds, 9 assists for the young Royal, bro. And as much credit as we give Ja Ike, we got to give Brandon Clark some credit. Now, Desmond Bane balled out. He's really the most improved player. What you think about that, man? Ja Morant getting his award, and he immediately, well, not immediately, but he had them deliver his award to Desmond Bane, and Desmond Bane goes in the kitchen and be like, man, tell 12 to get his award back. But I like the gesture, bro.
Well, I think it's funny. I mean, I think it's a neat gesture, but at the same time, it shows us that that particular award, the most improved player award, can not only go to, you know, say a first year or second year guy, but I think anyone is now eligible for it. That when you give Ja Morant the award for the year, I think he was on many people's MVP ballot this year from the way he played. We talked about it on another episode. He probably was fourth or fifth, you know, as far as being on the finalist list. But you know, we talk about that exuberance of youth, Doc. I mean, he's just the Energizer Bunny. He ignites everything that the Memphis Grizzlies are attempting to do. He's the catalyst of it. And when you see how rambunctious and how rowdy the Memphis crowd is, and the way he electrifies them, man, you're talking about a leader of many, a leader of 19,000, and that leader being Ja Morant, on top of what he's doing to end games, to closing out games. So it's very rare that you see a point guard, particularly of his stature, being able to be the team's closer. And he's dictating. He's setting the table for a lot of other people, the Baines of the world, the Clarks of the world, Jaren Jacksons. He's setting the table for these guys, man. And these guys are finishing, and they're doing their job to make sure Ja is efficient in what he's doing, man. Not the best shooting night, 9 for 22, but at the same time, he does so many other things. He's rebounding. He's assisting. You said he almost had another triple-double to go with the one he had previously. So Ja Morant is becoming that superstar right before our very eyes.
And you're right. And he straight NFT'd Malik Beasley, man. I mean, damn. NFT is one of those, you know, there's non-fungible tokens. When he dunked on him, bro, that's the NFT, man. He NFT'd Malik Beasley, and it looked so pretty, man. And I agree, B, you made a great point, bro. Because the fact of the matter is, your game has taken another level. If you can kind of coast through the three quarters, like what he was doing, that's far as offensive wise, because he was, like you said, he was hitting the glass, he was grabbing rebounds. He hands down some dimes, man, because once he penetrates and dribbles, bro, he can find players, and he does, and he often finds Brandon Clark, and Brandon Clark finishes around the rim. I got to give him some credit too, man. He had 21 points, 15 boards, 9 and 14 field goals off the bench. And he gives us consistent energy and effort. But Ja he is elevating because he cruising through offensively. And when you can turn it on like that, bro, in the playoffs in the fourth quarter like he did, damn, dog, 18 points in the fourth, that is superstar stuff. And you score the last 11 points for your team, man, to win the game and the last second shot. Okay, Ja, I don't know if you were trying to lull our ass to sleep the first three quarters and woke up, but you woke up in the fourth and you woke us all up, bro. And Malik Beasley, you are NFT'd, man. But Ja Morant, another level.
But Doc, I often say that Ja Morant is too much fish for that pond.
You keep saying that, man. What you mean by that, bro? Mississippi River is a big river, huh?
I mean, indeed it is. Indeed it is. But at the same time, you know, you have certain players who are, you know, they're just too much for that city. So therefore, you know, other places call them to conquer. But hear me out, Doc. Now, just seeing, you know, kind of what I've been seeing the last two games that have been played in Memphis. Not only is that seed, here's the thing about a seed. A seed has the ability to draw what it needs to him. So I call Ja the seed. Ja is drawing the attention of the National Basketball Association, all of their affiliates, their sponsors, their TV programming right there to Memphis. He's drawing the Doc Holliday's of the world into the building, the Usher Raymonds of the world into the building. He's bringing Zebo back into the building. So that's an amazing feat for a player like him to have, a gift for him to have. And it's a renaissance. It's like a one man leading the USC band, and he's the conductor of it right now. So he has that ability to bring that enthusiasm, that juice right down to downtown Memphis, man. And he's serving notice to just everybody in the National Basketball League Association and other cities right now. So oftentimes when I say he's too much fish for that pond, I mean, he does have the ability to make that pond a lake and turn it into an ocean. So he has that ability, man. We're seeing it happen.
Thank you, man. That's what I wanted to hear you say, bro. Don't be trying to fish our big fish up out of here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Mississippi River is a long river. It goes from here, damn near, I want to say to Africa. So it's plenty of that's big enough for me, man. But but the way Josh stepped up in that fourth quarter, man, when we needed him to step up, and the way he's able to click it on and say, okay, I'm gonna be aggressive, even though Patrick Beverly is bugging the hell out of me, man, and they doubling me and trying to tough me up. But the Grizzlies just dominated, man. But you did talk about Anthony Edwards, who's a young star, man. He finished with 22 points, hit that game tying 3 with 3 seconds left, man. Tied the ball game up at 109, which was a huge shot for a young fella, man. Karl Anthony Towns, 28 points, 12 rebounds. He had another solid game. But the fact of the matter is the Grizzlies, well, what they did and how they were playing, bro, because looking at this, not only Ja 30, 13, and 9, and we talk about Brandon Clark, but Desmond Bane, man, 25 points. Dude is just a consistent damn hooper. Like I say, he looks like a damn strong safety. Look like he'll knock your head off, but he's a consistent hooper. But these others, Grizzlies won the rebounding battle 53-14, but 18 offensive boards for the Grizzlies, just 6 offensive boards for the T-Wolves. Man, look, that's 12 more opportunities you give yourself to score, and we win by 2. Bro, that's one. Even the points in the paint, we won 62-38. That's good, but them 18 offensive rebounds, bro, to go with just 6 offensive rebounds for Minnesota, that to me says a lot. That's a tall tale as far as the ball game is concerned, man, because we got all those extra opportunities that they didn't get.
Well, when you talk about offensive rebounding, Doc, you're talking about a second chance for your offense to put points on the board. But at the same time, it puts the Minnesota Timberwolves defense in a scramble. When you don't get your defensive rebound by finishing the defense, by getting that defensive rebound, your guys are out of place now. So they're scrambling. You may have some trying to break out and go down the field for a fast break opportunity, but you don't have the rebound. But you give that offense an extra opportunity. Guys are scrambled. So now what do you have? You have wide open shooters like Bane. You have guys like Clark. You have guys who are on the corner, Dillons of the world, who are wide open and are willing to take that shot and knock down that 3-point, which is demoralizing to a defense when that happens. So for the Grizzlies to win that offensive rebounding battle, man, it only bodes well for what they're trying to accomplish. And when they do that, man, it gives guys like Ja Morant another opportunity to add to the stat sheet.
And you're right, man, but they do have to play better, bro. It's my guy here named Anthony Shane. He tweeted something out, man, like the Grizzlies might be the only team who winning a series that they actually losing because they still haven't played their best basketball. But I got to love what they're doing, man. And I also love what Taylor Jenkins did before going into this game. Now, he complained about the referees and the bad refereeing from the previous game in Minnesota where we lost and they was calling all kinds of fouls on us. Now, Taylor Jenkins was fined $15,000. Now, they asked Desmond Bane, young player, were they going to contribute to paying Taylor Jenkins' fine? Now, with me, I'm like, hell no, he got more than enough money to pay it himself. And Desmond Bane was like, no, go to them veterans, man. I got to keep my pennies. Go, and he is exactly right. But I say that because Taylor Jenkins went off about the officiating in the last game, about the fouls called, the discrepancy of the foul shots and the foul call. So you can say it worked because the Grizzlies went to the free throw line, attempted 39 free throws. T-Wolves just 24. Now, the Grizzlies shot horribly from the free throw line, missed 13 damn free throws, but we also got 15 more free throw attempts than Minnesota. I think the referees took it upon them to be like, okay, let me see what they're talking about. Because when you're able to bang job, man, and get away with fouling, just like Boston was able to be aggressive with Kevin Durant and shut him down. When you're able to do that, man, you can pretty much beat a team. But do you think that yapping had the referees be like, okay, let me look at this. And is what Desmond Bain entertaining to you as it was to me when he was like, hell no, bro, I'm just getting pennies. You better go to them vets with their big chains and ask them for some money.
Well, I'll say this, Doc. You know, when you take coaching 101, that's one of the primary studies that you take, or prerequisite that you take as far as being a head coach in the national or any league that's out there. You know, you look at Pat Riley, you look at Phil Jackson, you look at all these great coaches that have been in this league and have won championships. When a team gets blown out and when there's a huge discrepancy as far as the calls, the fouls that are being called, you really start making preparation for that next game in the post-game interview of the game that you just finished playing. Monty Williams is an example of that. And if you have to go out and say something towards the refs, you want to be heard. We don't get an opportunity to interview referees, Doc. So we can't ask them. So what do you think about this upcoming game? Or you think you'll call more fouls to favor the Memphis Grizzlies? We don't have that opportunity. But they do watch these shows. They do listen to Run Pass Option. They do read the newspaper when they're traveling, and those things come up in their eyes, and they're more keen to start calling fouls for whoever that coach that went on that post game rant and make it more beneficial for his team. Now, as far as that 15,000 goes, when you ask a Bain if he's going to contribute, I say this, Doc. You are who you are if you're making $1 million, even if you're making $30 million. So if you'll contribute making $1 million while you're making $1 million, I think you'll contribute when you're making $30 million. You don't change just because the increase or the salary level goes up. It only enhances who you already are. So either you're going to contribute or you're not going to contribute. That's a yes or no question. So as far as Bain is concerned, I don't knock him. That's just what he does. And these coaches are making pretty good money, Doc. I think he can take care of that $15,000 on his own.
You damn right. And I'm with Bain. Hell no, I ain't giving him nothing. I ain't telling him to say that. That's his loot. That 15 G's, the team probably paid anyway. So, no, but salute to the Grizzlies, man. Now game 6 moves to Minnesota on Friday. The Grizzlies can close it out and win their first playoff series since 2015. So I hope they take, this grit and grunt. I hope they play, because they haven't played their best basketball yet. And the fact of the matter is, Minnesota, y'all should be scared a little bit because they hadn't played their best basketball as a team yet. Because Jaren Jackson Jr. fouled out again. He got to give us more too, bro. I like you, Jaren Jackson Jr., but, man, you have got to step your damn game up in the playoffs. This ain't that, bro. They're looking at you knowing you're going to foul. You fouled out again, dog. You fouled out again. You gave us 12 points, but we got to have you, man.
Yeah.
We got to have you, Jaren Jackson Jr. You can't keep putting yourself in positions to get locked up like that, bro. And he constantly does. But hey, that's supposed to be our big two, but now our big two is John Morant and Desmond Bain. But Ike B, Jaren Jackson Jr., man, I ain't counting his money. I ain't one of them dudes like some of them other suckers. Somebody, but you're getting paid this money. That's what you're supposed to be. I ain't doing none of that. But Jaren, as far as what we need, because we ain't winning in order to win the NBA title, bro, if we can move on, get to the next round, Jaren Jackson Jr. got to give us more, bro. But he I ain't gonna say he disappearing, but damn, bro, I want to see some dog, Ike B. I got to see some more dog out of JJJ, man.
Well, I think Jaren Jackson is a legacy player. So therefore, I think he has a level of self-awareness that he can impose on himself. And if not, I think his parents can really sit down and watch film with him and let him know what's going on. I mean, I just think sometimes he needs a reminder. A lot of players, a lot of us, we need reminders about who we are as a basketball player, what we have, the gifts that we possess, and really focus in on that and just be better the next game. I think, like I said, the drama of these games are different from game to game. Jaren Jackson is having the light shined on him right now, probably in a negative light, but he's only 2 to 3 3-point shots from having that light to switch to a positive role. So and that kind of gets a guy going. Oftentimes when guys are in a slump in the NBA, the best way to get out of that slump is start taking the ball to the rim, get fouled, go to the free throw line, and seeing the ball go through the net. So those things help players, and I think that's where Jaren Jackson is right now.
And if I was Jaren Jackson Jr., man, because he's long and athletic, he has great feet, bro. If you're not hitting shots, man, but how you can get yourself into the ball game and hit the defensive glass, man. Hit the offensive glass, man. Try to snatch one off the rim and dunk on a cat's head, even if you miss, even if you get called for a foul, bro. Because they calling your ass for a foul anyway, so you may as well make them count. Dive on the ball on the ground for loose balls, man. Do things like that. That can get you emotionally in the game, and before you know it, you knock down one shot. Now they looking for you, and you can knock down more. Then more shots that come your way. But luckily for the Grizzlies, man, we're still up. They still up 3-2, and they haven't played their best basketball. One of their best players hasn't played his best basketball. He haven't even really been on the court, and they still up 3-2. So Minnesota, if the Grizzlies mess around and get the Grizzly in on your ass in game 6, y'all gonna lose by 25. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all pretty much outplayed them, but they keep getting you. But Anthony Edwards, salute to you, young Royal. Hit a big shot, man. Wasn't enough. Karl Anthony Towns, you didn't kind of shut everybody up the last 2 games, so I ain't gonna leave you alone. But don't say what you said. We're going back. Don't say what you said the other day. We in Minnesota now. The hell that mean, bro? That don't mean nothing. We in Minnesota now. But I know cats were some people in Atlanta. Were they in Atlanta last night? Or what they play last night? It was in Miami, right? I know.
Appreciate you switching it over. I mean, we've done the majority of this show talking about the Memphis Grizzlies and the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Well, you let me lead the conversation. That's why, bro.
Can we please talk about the teams that have clinched to the next round? Come on, man. I mean, come on, Doc. Let's even this thing out a little bit, man.
Man, we are about to, bro. We are about to. The Miami Heat. Miami Heat closed out their first round Eastern Conference playoff series against the Atlanta Hawks last night. 97-91. 97-94. Series is over. The Heat win 4-1. And they play without their best guy. Jimmy Butler, sits out with knee soreness. I'm like, okay. I'm thinking that maybe he was a little hurt, but they're like, man, we got a nice little lead. You know what I'm saying? You take some rest, but I'm thinking it may be a problem. But hell, man, it wasn't no problem at all, bro. Because Victor Oladipo just stepped in. He balled out. How many points Victor had? 23. Bam Adebayo, 20 points, 11 boards, and Miami Heat, bro. Hey, man, I ain't gonna talk. I'm gonna let you talk about them, but they won. This is what I'm gonna say. The Miami Heat beat the Atlanta Hawks 97-94 to close out that series 4-1. Victor Oladipo scored 23 points. Bam Adebayo, 20 points, 11 boards. That held Trae Young to 11 points on 2 of 12 field goals. Even he finished this series averaging 15 points a game and 28 points a game in the regular season. So they shut Trae Young down. So that's all I'm gonna say. You got it, man. Go ahead on ride out with the Miami Heat. Go ride out on them, bro. Go slurp them up, dog.
So here's the thing, Doc. Let's just start right here. The Miami Heat advanced to the next round of the NBA playoffs by stifling. If that's one word I could use, we stifled the Atlanta Hawks and Trae Young 4-1. And we were minus 2 of our starters last night. Not only did Jimmy Butler not play, but Kyle Lowry missed his second game due to a hamstring injury. So, Doc, here's the thing. I think I said stifle. Another word I would use was we exposed something in Atlanta, man. I think from game 1 all the way to game 5, we put out a blueprint that I think other teams will now use, not only in that division, but also in the conference, the Eastern Conference there is, to manage Trae Young. I mean, we forced him into a lot of bad shots. I think the game plan that we set around him, because we know he's the table setter for the Atlanta Hawks, was just magnificent. Eric Spoelstra did a wonderful job corralling this guy, making sure that we were picking him up 94 feet, making him hard for him to get the ball after he passed it, forcing him to make, just tough shots, Doc. Shooting logo 3-pointers, man. A lot of people go ooh and ah when they go in, but when they're not going in, it's a detriment to their team. Let's just be real about that. And we forced Trae Young into positions that he really wasn't comfortable in the entire series. So I think this blueprint of what the Miami Heat showed and gave on how to defend Trae Young is going to spread through the league like wildfire until Trae Young develops a better game as far as penetrating, shooting his mid-range, and kind of bringing his 3-point shot in just a little bit more, Doc, because, the argument has been going, who's the better player, Luka or Trae Young in that trade. They were traded for each other on the draft day. But I think the game plan that Eric's supposed to use as far as stifling this young man, is going to spread through the league like wildfire until he changes it.
They stayed up in the cuff, man. They stayed up in his cuff. And, Trae Young likes to dribble sometimes, but he loves to do all that dribble and shooting all deep. And you got to understand, man, the regular season is entertainment. Once cats get the playoffs, they start playing some ball, bro. And all that, even though he did lead the Hawks to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. But, it's a different situation. And it looks like Miami, man, was switching out defenders on him, man, and getting up in his grill and not letting them dribble, not letting them get those clear shots. So now he wants to go out a little deeper and shoot from the logo. And, bro, you might hit a couple of them, but your ass ain't hitting 45%, man, shooting from way back there. Like you said, it looks good when you knock them down, but if your ass consistently taking those shots in the ball game, especially a playoff game, it ain't happening, man. I'm just impressed on the defense they did play on. Like I said, 15 points a game in this series, man, when he averaged 28 points during the regular season. He had 30 assists and 30 turnovers, so he just erased all the assists he gave out because he turned the ball over just as much. So salute to the Miami Heat who are moving on to the second round, man. And it was another game last night, but that was over in the West. Before I jump to the West, I want to get your thoughts on the Boston Celtics, man. I want to say Boston just broomed Brooklyn right on up out of there, man. Swept them 4 games to none, bro. Now, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving has caught a lot of slack because they the 2 stars of the team, especially Kevin Durant. I mean, it's some national media spokespeople, man. They've said the most meanest and I say unfair things about Kevin Durant and Kyrie and Ben Simmons. Now I use my Twitter to go at their head. Now with my brother Isaac on the show, I'm gonna keep it nice, but they say it hurts his legacy because Kevin Durant got swept out. Ike, I'm gonna ask you this: why does Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving get the blame for that, and not the head coach Steve Nash? Because Boston, with that great young black coach Ime Udoka, who's engaged to Neil Long. Oh my God, salute to you, brother. You know what I'm saying? Excellent game plan, man. Excellent defensive game plan to stop KD. Boston plays great as a team. He has a great young superstar in Jason Tatum. He just outcoached the Nets, man, because people saying Kevin Durant was supposed to find ways to get himself open. I thought that was the head coach's job. Steve Nash, man, it's his fault that his team just looked like you just told Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, y'all go out there, man, and just hoop. No defensive adjustments, no offensive adjustments, no game planning at all. And that crap don't work against a team. Boston is a team with a great player, man. So do you think it's unfair Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving getting the blame for them getting swept up out of the playoffs?
I'll say no. I don't think it's unfair, Doc. But first and foremost, I think not enough credit is being given to the Boston Celtics as a unit, as a team. Ume did a great coaching job. The players, the superstars on that team, the Jason Tatums of the world, he's from St. Louis, and Jaylen Browns, Marcus Smart, they all bought into what their head coach is bringing, Doc. And you can see it, man. And to me, honestly, when you talk about what's happening in Brooklyn, it's evident that the Boston Celtics have what the Brooklyn Nets truly lacked, and that is leadership. So it's glaring, Doc. I mean, from a standpoint, if you're asking me, do they share the blame? Of course they do, Doc. This is the National Basketball Association, the NBA, where the superstars, they run the league. Kevin Durant runs the league. Kyrie Irving, he runs the league. And from the start of it, they were instrumental in bringing in Steve Nash as the head coach. I mean, their quote once out there where Kyrie said that we don't need a coach. We don't need to be coached. We can just go out there and ball. So they were instrumental in bringing in Steve Nash, who was a great basketball player, 2-time MVP of the league. But at the same time, I think his coaching chops were exposed. The offense looked vanilla. He couldn't free up Kevin Durant. He couldn't free up Kyrie Irving, guys who have great handle, great talents, great skillful players. That couldn't happen. And who's responsible for hiring Steve Nash? Not the general manager. It's Kevin Durant. It's Kyrie Irving. Let's just be real about it. And I think that they got in a position Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, they got in a position where they were playing emotional basketball or putting together emotional team where when it was important that Kevin Durant step up and be a leader and say, listen, man, this is how we're going to do this. And by no means, either you with it or you're not with it. This is how we got to do it. I mean, he's been around championship teams before. And it's no indictment. It's just an analysis from a standpoint where when Kevin was in Golden State, you know, all he wanted to do was just hoop. Other guys ran the leadership, the Draymond Greens of the world, the Stephen Currys of the world. They took care of the leadership. He just played the hired mercenary that was there to shoot your eyes out and get the MVPs. And that's exactly what he did. It's a different arena in Brooklyn right now. They're calling on his leadership. They need him to lead, not only build a team, but to lead the team along with Kyrie Irving. They need to be the leaders. Sometimes, Doc, you got to be the first guy on that suicide line. You got to be finishing first for other guys to rally around you. I think they missed that opportunity as far as leadership is concerned for other guys to step in and really rally around and become a unit. They were open fists while the Boston Celtics was a closed fist and everyone was on the same page. They self-policed themselves. Marcus Smart would always be on that bench before Ume came and delivered the game plan. So you see the difference in leadership styles, Doc, where one had it and one didn't. Where there's no vision, people perish. Where you have a vision, people are going to be successful.
I think a misconception is people think just because athletes are great athletes that they're great leaders. A lot of times that's just not the case, man. Just because somebody's your best player, it could be a cat that don't never play to be your leader, man, because that's a personality trait that you really can't teach. And just because they're the best players, that don't mean they're going to be out there coaching you up, uplifting you. Because when I watch Brooklyn play, man, and I love KD and I love Kyrie Irving, when I watch them play, everybody else immediately looking for Kyrie or they looking for KD, and they just kind of run up the court and just like, well, I'm going to let them do what they do. Then hopefully I get a rebound. Hopefully I get a pass. And I don't really see them engaging and interacting with the players too much. But Steve Nash, still your damn fault, bro, because you still a head coach. I'm not going to put it on all those young Royals, man. But I want to ask you this before we go to the Suns, and I got to talk about our Memphis Tigers at the spring game, man. Salute to them. Football. Ben Simmons, bro, he didn't play. You know, he came over in a trade with the 76ers in the middle. They sent Harden to Philly. Ben says he had mental issues. Said his back hurting too, right? So he didn't play at all. Now, some things were said about Ben Simmons, and let me ask you, because to me it's straight up out of bounds, bro. Now, Ike, you can talk about a young man's playing ability, right? Or what happens on the court. But when Stephen A. Smith said the dude is basically the most despicable, disgusting sports athlete in the history of sports, Ike B, that's too much, man. When Ben Simmons hasn't done anything to you personally, it's like all these dudes, Shaq, Reggie Miller, they're mad at Ben Simmons because he's playing with and getting paid. Now, bro, that pissed me off to no end, man, because I don't know Ben Simmons. I don't know but bro, when you get, especially when a young man had told you he's had mental problems, you can't down talk that. But to say that somebody is the most despicable, basically disgusting sports athlete in the history of sports, when we ain't never heard about Ben Simmons getting arrested or getting in trouble. Have you? I haven't. Ike B, bro, even Jamie Foxx, who Stephen A. Smith said that's his friend, told him that was too much. But Stephen A. tripled down and said, no, I'm going to do what I do. But, bro, that's out of bounds and unfair to me, man.
Well, you know, some people, it's their job to have strong opinions, Doc. And I think some words that he may have used, disgusting, despicable, I didn't hear it. I'm just, you know, relaying on what you said. I think it's out of bounds for sports, you know, but with the Reggie Millers of the world, the Shaqs of the world, and the Charles Barkleys of the world, they're talking particularly of competitive nature. Now, you know, we need a competitive edge in any sport that we're playing. I mean, it's our industry. And we know the importance of having a competitive edge and what it does for you, how it ignites other people around you, how it ignites how Ja Morant is igniting the fans. It's not all his athletic ability. It's his ability to be competitive in games like this. So when you question a guy's competitive level, I think that's inbounds. I think you can, question that, especially when you may have someone thinking that you're going to play in another game, or you're gradually progressing to play. And once again, Doc, we can revert back to leadership. What's in the locker room around it? Did you do your homework before you brought him in from a general manager standpoint? Because we can see he quit on LSU. We can see he quit in Philly. We can see that. So we can, for Kevin Durant, for Kyrie Irving, we can go and see and do this research before we pull the trigger, because they had to give their blessings to say, okay, let's send Harden away and let's bring this person in because we think he can help us. Doc, I mean, a lot of it falls on the general manager, Steve Nash, and a lot of it falls on the Kevin Durant's of the world and the Kyrie Irvings of the world, because you have that ability to do that research. You've played against the guy, so you have some intel on this person. But as far as, questioning his competitiveness, that's inbounds. The other stuff, I think that's out of bounds for what's trying to go down here as far as in the world of sports.
Especially man, when you're a 50-something-year-old man, this is a young man that's old enough to be your son. You can be on national TV, man, or on the run pass option, criticizing somebody for not playing well and not playing tough. But Cat's hurt in his back and his head. I mean, them words just to me, man, was just some clownish behavior. But I got what you're saying, bro. You're right.
Yeah.
We know also in the locker room now, because Shaq said it's a punk move for him not to play. And the only, I wouldn't say that because I don't know the situation. But I know if I'm in the locker room and I got a teammate who I know I'm cool with, who I know is a dog, and I'm like, bro, you hurt? Yeah, I can't go. All right, my bro. All right, my guy, we're going to go roll without you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if I know you weakest, then I'm like, oh, you ain't playing, bro. Oh, you a weak.
I'm not surprised.
Thank you, but I don't know Ben Simmons, so I can't make that assessment. So, but
I think, but Doc, here's the thing. I think you've seen a lot of his work, his body of work, to give an objective opinion on what you think his character as far as basketball is concerned. Now, let's just be real with that. I think you've seen a lot of that. You've seen in Philly where he didn't want to get fouled, Doc. He didn't want to shoot the ball. We saw that. We saw where we saw when he came back for training camp this year, he didn't want to participate. We saw that with our eyes. So what you do speaks so loud. I can't hear a word you're saying, man. I'm not clowning. I'm not attacking you as a person, but I am attacking the problem. And the problem is in the basketball arena for Ben Simmons.
I still think, Stephen, that you went too far, man. You went too far.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna stay on your damn beam. Yours too, Barkley, even though Ike called you the great Charles Barkley. Now, as far as the player was concerned, you were great. But as far as the person, absolutely. I don't like your ass, man. I don't. But Phoenix Suns, man, 112-97 over the Pelicans, man. They now lead that series 3-2, man. Mikal Bridges, 31 points, 5 rebounds. And Chris Paul, 22 points, 11 boards. Dude like a little he chubby, but he ain't chubby. You know what I'm saying? He walk pigeon-toed. But he just continues to give people their work. I don't even know how old Chris Paul is, 34, 35, but I kind of want, I want the Grizzlies to win the championship, but if they can't do it, I want Phoenix to do it. I know you want the Heat to do it, but hey, man, I like the way Chris Paul is continuing to play. They still playing without Devin Booker, man, but Mikal Bridges steps up 31 points. Brandon Ingram, man, 22 points and 5 rebounds. Man, skinny dude from Duke. Skinny dude just be hooping, man. I look at Brandon Ingram, I look like the thin man or something like that, but he just hoops, man. But Phoenix but they the 1 seed, just like the Heat, bro. You could talk about the Heat and the Hawks. What's the Miami Heat seed? The 1 seed, right?
Number 1.
They were supposed to do that, bro. So we really shouldn't be celebrating what the Heat did to the Hawks. They were supposed to do that, but the Suns are the 1 seed in the West, and Pelicans giving their ass some problems, man. So salute to Chris Paul and salute to the Phoenix Suns, bro. But they still got one more win before they send New Orleans home.
Yeah, it's been a great series thus far, Doc. I mean, you talk about CP3, what he's been able to do. He doesn't look a little different, from his body composition than last year. Last year, he was plant-based. And a couple of times he caught a couple of dunks, alley-oop. So you can see that plant-based diet was working. So I'm not sure. He probably reverted back to, other stuff. But, Doc, once again, even in this series, you're seeing the maturation of these young stars, Brandon Ingram, just like you just mentioned. And I can just imagine if Zion Williamson was with this squad, man, they would have a lot of firepower to go against these Phoenix Suns. They probably wouldn't be playing in the play-in game, but probably a legit playoff team. But they're giving them Phoenix Suns everything they can handle, minus the Devin Bookers of the world. So it's a great matchup. I think Phoenix will go ahead and end this series here soon. But you can see where Coach Willie Green for the Pelicans is taking this team, and they're maturing right before our eyes, Doc. And it's beautiful to see. Brandon Ingram is truly missed in La La Land.
Yes, sir. That's the
they
mistake.
Gave up on him
yes,
too
sir.
Quick, oh my goodness, man! This guy can very well be the Kevin Durant-ish type player. He has the same body makeup, same mid-range game, and can hit that 3-pointer. So I think they might have missed on trading this guy away, man.
You damn right they missed. They messed all the way up, man. So you got him hooping the way he's hooping, and we also got to give credit to C.J. McCollum, man, because he been hooping too. They picked him up, man. Traded, got him from Portland. He been hooping too. So it's been a nice little series, man. As we say, NFL draft coming up tomorrow. We'll wait after the draft, talk about the draft. This ain't no damn draft show. This predictions in it. But Ike, I want to tell you about our Memphis Tigers spring football game. Memphis Tigers, man, had our spring football game at the Liberty Bowl last Friday. We call it Friday Night Stripes. And Ike BC, I went into the game because I want to see how these quarterbacks gonna look. Quarterbacks and the running backs. Kind of, I don't pay attention too much to the defense, but this is the spring game. I tell people all the time, man, spring game don't mean anything. I don't even understand. Well, I know why they have spring practice, because they want our ass to have something to do, because your ass, you don't do nothing for you in the fall. But anyway, man, the quarterbacks for the Memphis Tigers fan, Seth Hennigan, the young fella who started last year, man, he went 11 to 20, 194 yards, 6 drives, he had a touchdown. Grant Gunnell, the big dude went 4 drives, 13 to 21, 192 yards, Ike B, 2 scoring drives. But they got the young fella, man, the highest rated quarterback, I think the Tigers we've ever signed, Tevin Carter, from right here in Memphis. He only got 2 series, but bro, he came out, man, he ended it, Ike B, with a scramble and flicked that thing, man, 69 yards, brother. Eric Rivers, man. It was so pretty, the whole play. So he may not play next season, but you never know. Just them, and I got to give it to the running back, Rodriguez Clark, man. He had 104 receiving yards, looking like a mini Kenny Gainwell, even though Kenny Gainwell was at the game. So the Tigers, man, on the offensive end, look pretty good. Now, they have 552 passing yards, so they would look good as far as a game. But, hell, that's the whole team. So the defense, you're tripping. Now, I got to give it to the DB Greg Rubin. He did what he does, had a couple of nice little pass breakups. But our Tigers, man, it's tough now, because I didn't understand this transfer portal. Cats getting paid to leave, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but overall, how they looked, I liked how they looked going into summer workouts in the offseason before going to fall camp, especially with those 2 quarterbacks, even if they redshirt Tevin Carter. I think we're in a good position, man, with those 2 quarterbacks.
Well, that's good news. That's good to hear, man. Based on what we have coming out offensively. We got to find a way to keep these guys happy. I feel like, with the transfer portal being a part of college football, college athletics as a whole, you got to figure out a way to keep these guys happy from year to year. So if we got to play Carter just a little bit, just to give people a flash of what's to come in the future, by all means, do it. Try to get him on the field as best you can. Now, I'm more interested in what we can do defensively. I think from a defensive line standpoint, I think the last couple of years, that's been our biggest weakness as far as putting pressure on opposing quarterbacks, stopping the run, who can clog up that middle, just getting some beef up front, Doc. So I think that'll make a big difference in what we try to do defensively. I know we can score. I know we can put points on the board. But at the same time, in the AAC, we want to make sure that we stop people when they need to be stopped.
And that's my thing, man. That physicality on defense, man. That's what I want to see. That's what I need to see, man. Because a lot of times when you're struggling on offense, man, if you got a good defense that can make some stops, you can win some games, and they can put you in a position to win some games. Because great defense, low scoring games, you get a defensive turnover here or a turnover here, they can turn the game around. But spring game, man, we can talk about it. Don't get too excited. It's just the spring. Hey, and then cats out there playing against each other. We've been out there. Sometimes you go hard, but if it's somebody you like, but a lot of time when trash talking is concerned, because there was a lot of old Tigers there too, man. It was good to see them. A lot of new Tigers there too, man. You know, in the NFL. So it was good to see Antonio Gibson. It was good to see Kenneth Gainwell. You know, Patrick Taylor Jr., Calvin Austin coming up, Memphis Tiger. He's in this year's NFL draft. So it was good to see a lot of those cats, man. So and some of them old dudes. And I saw our boy Quitman. You know, Quitman, I had to get on Quitman Spalding, bro. Quitman, if you I had to get on him again. Because I said, look, Quitman, quit around here telling these folks you the fastest Tiger ever, bro. Don't do that. Yeah, I quit me. You told it because he told it to come on, Q. Come on, Q. But anyway, man, our Memphis Tigers, man. And lastly, bro, did you see that trophy, that Heisman trophy that Oklahoma unveiled for Baker Mayfield?
I did see it.
Yeah. Right, come on. Who the hell did that, bro? Who designed that? And why would Oklahoma even accept that? You got to get that back, man, and say we can't. Just throw a pick. That man, that stuff ugly as hell, bro.
Well, I tell you what, you know, the Oklahoma Sooners just happens to be Oklahoma's professional football team as far as football is concerned. So, you know, you got to go all out for your guys who won Heisman Trophy. I guess Kyler Murray is next in line to get a statue somewhere in Norman. There's been a lot of great quarterbacks, the Jamel Holloways of the world, the Charles Thompsons of the world that have played for the Oklahoma Sooners, man, and went to great heights, man, leading them to championships and Big 8 championships. I mean, it's a lot of statues to go around that place.
Ike B, and before we wrap it up, Jamel Holloway, best option quarterback ever. I don't care what maybe because I was a kid, best option quarterback ever. And somebody else I want to put up there as option quarterback, Kane Daddy, Keith Ben. Y'all might not know about it, but I know about it. Memphis State quarterback, University of Memphis quarterback. But Ike B, anything else you want to add, man, before we get up out of here, bro?
I mean, you talk about the greatness of Jamel Holloway, man. Ask Troy Aikman about Jamel Holloway.
Yes.
Sent him to UCLA.
Sent his ass on up out of there. Sent his ass right from Oklahoma to UCLA.
No, we're good, man. Great show today, Doc, man. Awesome job.
Appreciate you, man. That's going to do it for another great episode of the Ron Pass Option with Pro Football Hall of Famer Isaac Bruce and Doc Holliday. I am Doc Holliday. We out.